Welcome, CompTIA enthusiasts. I'd like to provide you with some free questions and answers to ensure that you pass the CompTIA A+ 220-801 and 220-802 exams on the first try. This is the second of approximately 40 videos being created to help you pass these expensive exams. These videos will provide you with sample questions and answers for every domain and objective in the A+ 800 series. I'm going to use my new exam simulator to generate the questions and show the answers. In this video, this code will randomly generate questions from the A+ Essentials exam number 220-801, the PC hardware domain, and objective 1.2, which is differentiate between motherboard components, their purposes, and properties. And yes, I've got all the performance-based questions that you will encounter in the real exam in this simulator. We'll get to those in just a few minutes. Keep in mind that this is not a brain dump. I am not giving you the minimum amount of information you need to pass the exams. This is a complete education. There is just as much legacy equipment out there as there is new equipment, and this simulator will prepare you for just about anything that you might encounter in the field. Now for these demonstrations, I've created a special abbreviated database. Due to time constraints, I've taken the original 220 question database for this particular objective and reduced it down to just a few questions. There's tons of information available on my eBay site that you can check out by clicking on the link below. And there are plenty of links there that will get you to the CompTIA.org screens and other sites for more information on spaced repetition in learning and computer adaptive testing. That's what the real CompTIA exams are. Nobody ever gets the same test twice, and you need to learn about CAT to understand why. Now I'm going to run this code in the normal mode, and the normal mode simply asks us questions, and we're going to click on the answers. I'm going to skip past the flash mode. Basically that turns the program into a game. You set the timer and you see if you can answer the questions before the screen changes. And I'm not going to spend any time looking at the automatic mode either, but the auto mode turns the program into a slideshow. You set the individual timers and the optional tones to let you know when the screens change. And the program runs by itself. You can read the question, mentally make sure you know the answer, and then depending on how you set your timers, the answer will be shown. And it'll go to the next question. Now, I like to play online poker on my desktop while running the auto mode on my laptop. It's true multitasking. But for right now, we're going to shut those modes off. And what's really unique about this code is that you will always learn the correct answer, even if you select the wrong answer as your first choice. For the text-based questions, the correct answers light up in green, the incorrect answers light up in red. And since we're in the motherboard category, we've got a fair amount of graphics, and the graphics are going to react in a slightly different way. We'll see that in a moment here. But when you're in the text-based section, even if you select a wrong answer, you can still click on the other boxes until you find the correct answer. So just watch for a moment here. I'll answer a few questions and show you how it works. Now we've got the text-based question right off the bat. I've also added a new rationale field that gives you additional information on your selection, and it may offer details as to the reason why your particular selection was right or wrong. Now not every question has or needs rationale, but a lot of additional information can be gleaned from viewing this field. So let's take a couple of questions real quick. What transfers data directly from a drive to memory without involving the CPU? Well, that's DMA, Direct Memory Access. It turned green because it's the correct answer, and I got it correctly on the first try. The incorrect answers light up in red, and you can see that the rationale gives additional information about those particular selections. Let's take another one. On the ATX motherboard, identify the RAID connector. I've answered 2 correctly on the first try. On the motherboard, identify the PCI 32-bit bus master slots. That would be these guys right here. If I try to answer something else, nothing happens. The correct answer lights up in yellow. I've still only answered 2 questions correctly on the first try. One more time, identify the SATA connectors. That's these guys down here. Now, after you've taken your quiz, you see your results screen. You see the name of the quiz and how many answers you answered correctly on the first try. We answered 3 out of 4 for 75%. You see the questions that were asked, your first answer, and the correct answer. And if you click on Main Menu and then History, you can see the information from that quiz has been entered into the history database. You can clear this list or go back to the main menu. You can also sort this any way you'd like by selecting ascending or descending and then clicking on the column you wish to sort. I like it sorted descending by time and date because that will put my most recent exam on the top of the list. We also want to take a quick look at connectors and cables. This shows you some more of the graphics capability of the program. Click on the component connector. If I didn't know what it was and say I picked the DVI, it's going to show me what it is, but it's not going to light up in green. The composite, the component, and the VGA connectors are there. There's 61 questions all related to connectors and cables. Let's try one more. The RCA. We know these are the RCA. You can click on the other ones to see what they are, the BNC, etc. Now the repetition you get from using this code will burn the information into your brain like a CDR. You can set this in repeat and any of the modes will just continue to go round and round asking you random questions all the way through until you just burned it into your brain. You will eventually get to the point to where you can glance at the answers and you will already know what the question is. Now that's where I'm at. And isn't that exactly where you want to be? Let's take a quick peek at the database. The drop down box here shows the objectives. We're over here in Motherboards. You can create new questions. You can edit, delete, and save your questions. There's also a hint feature. If you have trouble remembering a particular answer, you simply add your own hint to the database. Then, when you encounter that question again, you have the option of viewing the hint. And I guarantee you that after you view your hint a couple times, you won't need it anymore. Now, let's quickly get to the performance-based questions. This is all the buzz in the CompTIA world, and this is what most people are interested in. These are similar to the performance-based questions that you will encounter on the real exam, and actually I've included many more choices in my program than you will get on the real exams. Now for the matching questions, you simply drag and drop the items into the correct box. And for the command line questions like I've got here, you simply drag the correct commands into the drop boxes in the correct order. And rather than type the commands on the screen like you will do on the real exams, on this simulator you simply drag and drop the commands in the correct order and then hit the score button to see how you did. Now I've also added a cheat mode. A cheat mode will allow you to score at any time. You can just drag one answer over and one of these boxes over and score it immediately. If you leave the cheat mode off, you're going to have to answer everything completely before you're allowed to score it. Let's turn the cheat mode on. We'll make it kind of easy on ourselves. We're on a Windows 7 machine. We want to open a command prompt window. Easy enough. We go to the Start button. We got to go to All Programs. We got to go to Accessories. We got to go to the command prompt. We can score that, and we can see that we've answered all of them correctly so far. I'm in this directory, list the contents. Well, you would type a dir and hit return to show the contents of that directory. You want to navigate to the documents folder. That's the cd command, change documents command. You need to set the attributes of the text file to read only. That's done by typing a trib for attributes. +R is going to turn the read on attribute. It's going to turn it to read only, and then the name of the file. So this would be the command you would have to type in the command box, and then you would hit exit and hit return, because it wants you to close the command prompt window. You can score that. You see we've done everything correctly, and at any time you can hit reveal, and it will reveal everything. It reveals the answer, everything in the correct order. Let's go to the next one real quick here. You'll be expected to identify connectors. You will have to match them up with their interfaces or colors, just like I've got here. And like I say, I've included a lot more here than has been reported as being on the real exam. I've got miniature green mice running around my house, so a mouse is a green mini den. I've got two connectors on the back of my computer. One's green and one's purple. That means the keyboard goes to the purple mini den. You can see that I can score myself right away to see how I'm doing. USB, I know that USB is flat, it's gray, it's 4-pin. 2 pins are for the voltage and 2 pins are for the data. I can score that, and I can see that I've got everything correct so far, and I can reset it and start over or go to the next question. Now, CompTIA introduced performance-based questions with the 800 series exams of the A+, the Net+, and I believe the Security+. And you can expect to see more of these types of questions in the future. You see, CompTIA finally realized that people were going to these brain dump sites and just memorizing the answers without really knowing what the answers really meant. And CompTIA has started to add more performance-based questions recently, so you need to study for and pass this exam as soon as possible. The cost of this simulator is nothing compared to failing either exam, even once. At the time of this recording, each exam costs $183, pass or fail, and you need to take and pass both the 801 and the 802 exams to get certified. If you need to retake either test, it's $183, pass or fail, for as many times as you need to take them. There's no breaks, there's no leniency. It's $183 every time. It's in your best interest to pass it the first time. Thousands of people all over the world have grabbed a copy of this simulator, and you've used it to help them pass these expensive exams. Now, people tell me that this simulator is exactly what they were looking for. Don't be one of those people who email me and they say, wow, I wish I'd found this simulator before I failed the exam. And I do get email that says exactly that. I want you to check out the feedback on my eBay site. It's totally off the charts. People absolutely rave about this product. You want to grab your copy before someone else gets the dream job that you deserve. It's an instant download. As soon as I get your PayPal receipt, the links are sent out for the download site, and seriously, you can download the product and be studying the exam within 5 minutes. And remember, the best way to pass the CompTIA A+ exams the first time is to ace the test before you take the test.